Hello everyone, Tommy Matter here, back with another Speed Champions MOC. This time it's of the LaFerrari, or at least my version of the LaFerrari. So I say my version because some of the stuff in this MOC is definitely inaccurate to the real thing, and I'll cover those right now actually. So I wanted to use the a printed headlights from the new Competizione set just because I feel like they're really Ferrari shaped. So I decided to copy how the Competizione set did these bits right here and using the wedge base as well, just because I feel like it really matched the sort of shape that it had on the top. So copied those, but I did modify the way the front section was angled, and I also changed the bottom piece to a slope here as well, and that allowed the front to come even lower. And I think like having the center section lower than the sides is quite a common trait of a lot of fast cars, hypercars, to have that sort of like lower front section than the sides. One of my favorite bits of the car is the shaping. When you look at it from the top, you can see that this sort of goes and continues, and then it goes down. And when you look at it from these angles, you can really see how what I'm talking about there, with how they go down. And it's further accentuated by the fact that the doors come in inwards. So there's quite an hourglass shape to the car, which I really like. And I changed these bits, the door sections, to mostly black because the black matches the bracket pieces that are slightly visible from the top there. And it gives a nice natural shape. So you get this gap here, the line, that sort of grows into this shape, and it's continuously expanding as you get to the front, and then it comes in. And I just like that view. I think it's really cool, and it sort of blends in with the intake of the car itself. And I like that the this inward slope also matches the slope of the slope wedge that I used to get the intake as well. So I really like that. Erased all the prints on the Competizione windscreen except for the ones on the side, and I think that worked out really well to make it look quite natural. Um, Another thing is the shape of the top of the car. Use these wedge pieces at a very unique angle. They're not attached just straight up and down. So it sort of like blends in with the shape of the windscreen as well. Um, and this part is probably where I'm least happy with. It looks a little bit blocky because of the way it's done, but I like how it fits in with minimal gapping in that area. So I'm not too upset about that. With the back, it's really accurate to the real Ferrari, at least I think it is. So we got the dual exhaust on either side at the bottom corners, the red pillars, the three red pillars in there. The diffuser sections, unfortunately, couldn't get them to the sleeker shape of the real thing, but they're at the right positions, and got the shape of the top as well with the slight wedges there. And yeah, so what I want to talk about in this video mainly is I think how I did the doors, because I think that's quite an interesting technique that I used. So when you're trying to make doors that go inwards, you need to start thinking about how it fits underneath the windscreen piece if you're using a windscreen um, for your Speed Champions MOC. And normal Lego sets of on the Speed Champions line have the windscreen just one stud higher. And what that does is it allows you to fit a 2 by something plate underneath the windscreen like that. And so it would be really easy to just decorate that with however you want. But if you bring it in one stud lower, then you can't fit this. It won't, like, it'll clash. It won't go underneath the windscreen. So you can't have a nice hinge look to it. So all you have to do is do some simple Lego math. So I'm sure a lot of you would know what I'm about to talk about, but in case some of you don't, the uh, width of this plate here is actually equal to a 1 by something plate with a half stud and 2 regular plates. So see how that's like exactly the same width? So if you just take one, if you bring the windscreen down by 1 plate, then you subtract this width by 1 plate, and that is the result. So these 2 pieces here are the same thickness as my door that I used there. So that's how it fits underneath the windscreen. So hope you guys, some of you guys at least, may find that useful for your own MOCs. So the next question you're thinking probably is, if you're wondering how I did that, is how did you get it to be so tight, tight fitting around the area? Well, I'll have to do some disassembly to show you that, but I'll do just that because it's also quite a simple technique, but I think it's fairly effective. If you want to get quite a tough sort of angle, the biggest trick that I can give you is to use multiple hinge points. So you don't want to have just one hinge. You may want to consider using 2 or maybe even 3 if you're if it's a really challenging sort of area. Because the more hinges you have, the more flexibility you have with where you position things. So if I just disassemble quite a lot here, I can show you that. So if I detach this door, it's just attached by 1 stud there. You can see that it's attached on one of these like 1x1 plates with a bar on them. And oh, sorry, shook the camera. And to that bar, I have attached a 1x1 with a clip. And beneath that is the same piece facing the opposite direction. So you can see how it's hinging around there. If I just move this around, see that? So there's a hinge here, there's a hinge here, and then it attaches to the door. So that's how the door is attached. And obviously by having just a straight bar there, it allows me to adjust the height of this to the perfect height where it sits right on top of these bracket pieces at the bottom here. And I have a clip here just sticking out, and that clip right there is simply to hold the door to the right angle, right? So if I, oh, sorry, I keep shaking the camera. So if I just straighten the door out, that's what it looks like. Just push it in, it hits the clip, and now it's at the right angle. So just have that on both sides to be consistent. And obviously I could use black clips so that it blends in, but I chose gray just so that it sticks out on the camera. And yeah, so this is the door build, right? Really simple stuff. Just pop that on that 1 stud. Oh, kicked out this piece. And put that back. And pinch that in. And boom. Perfect angle. And so that's how it's done. Hopefully that gives you some inspiration on how to do your own sort of hinged door MOCs, where it sort of just like gets in a nice hourglass sort of figure on the overall car. So I'll put this back together in my own time. But yeah, that's the video. Thank you for watching. The next MOC that I have planned is a car inspired by the Aston Martin Valhalla. But I think I'm going to take a small break on making Speed Champions MOCs. And because I've recently bought a large number of pieces to build a house MOC, so modern home. So I think that's the next video that I'm going to be doing. So please look forward to that, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.